Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Andrea Pierman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Northwest Indiana Business Roundtable, also known as NWIBRT. And we want to welcome you to our Meet the Owner webinar series. We have over 100 people joining us today, so thank you for joining us. This new series is intended to be a platform for us to learn what's happening with our owners and our contractors and different companies around Northwest Indiana. Each session is recorded, so you don't have to worry if you miss something. You can go right to our YouTube channel and you can see our past ones, and you can also view this one as well. At the end of this webinar, there's a really quick survey. I think it's like 3 questions that we ask you to answer. We hope that you all participate. It really helps us build more content in the future. For those of you who are new to NWIBRT or don't know about NWIBRT, NWIBRT is the largest association of owners, contractors, subcontractors, and affiliates in Northwest Indiana. So if you are, building or working in the construction industry, in maintenance or new construction or renovation with owners, with our municipalities, school systems, etc., this is the place that we all meet and gather together. You can, of course, find more information at NWIBRT.org. So we're using GoToWebinar for this meeting. Probably all of us have done a GoToWebinar, but just so you know, everyone is muted, so you don't have to worry about that. If you have questions, there is a question, a little chat box there that you can type right in your questions. So at the end, we can ask Mayor in the city questions. We're not going to ask Mayor what his favorite food is, so please don't put that in the chat box. So with that, we are very excited to have Mayor David Uran and his awesome team from the city of Crown Point to talk to us and give us kind of a recap of what is happening in the city of Crown Point, what has happened, and what is going on. So with that, Mayor, I'm going to pass this right on over to you.
Thank you. And first of all, on behalf of the City of Crown Point, we want to say Happy New Year to everybody that's watching here. Hopefully everybody's safe, and we wish everybody a healthy and prosperous 2021. I think we're very anxious to see 2021 come into play, since 2020 was really very challenging for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. With me today, I've got Greg Faulkowski. He's my Chief of Staff. He's been with the City of Crown Point going on his 8th year. He came in as our planner for the City of Crown Point, and then advanced to be our Chief of Staff. And with us also is our planner, Anthony Schleder, who's been here with 5 years. He has a lot of expertise from the private side, coming from building development from the private side. And then Joe Cash is with us as well. He's our building director and has been with the city for 30 years. And Joe has wore multiple different hats for the City of Crown Point. He actually was on the police department. He's worked with our utilities department, and he's been with our building departments for the majority of his time here at the City of Crown Point. So we have a really vast experience of people here to hopefully answer some of the questions and kind of really showcase what's happened at the City of Crown Point. Again, we would like to thank the Northwest Indiana Business Roundtable for having us, and Diversified Marketing, Andre and your team, for putting this together today, so we can kind of showcase and give you kind of an appetizer of what's taking place in the City of Crown Point, because most of the people that's on this webinar, I think we're going to see you on March 11th for our State of the City that didn't take place in 2020, but in 21 we're hoping to have it on that date. And most of you already have prepaid and stayed with us, and we're going to hopefully have that on March 11th as we advance to having more in-person type settings. And to answer the question out of the gate, chicken wings is my favorite food. So we'll just go ahead, Andre, and get that out of the way. I like BW3s and chicken wings naked, no sauce, a sauce on the side, and Caribbean jerk, spicy garlic is my favorite sauces to go with that. So we'll take all that off the table now and really concentrate what's taking place here. To start off with, really, 2020, again, it's been very challenging, right? The aspects of meeting with people and talking about growth and development in the City of Crown Point. We're comparing 2019 to 2020 COVID. 2019, we were just under $90 million of new growth of combining residential and commercial growth for the city of Crown Point. And through November, we're still calculating our December numbers, but through November of 2020, the city of Crown Point is currently at $92 million of total residential growth. We've exceeded the 2019 numbers, and even with COVID going on, people are still building, people are still want to locate here in our city. And I think it's just a combination of a lot of good things and teamwork that we have in our city. We have a tagline called Building a Stronger Community from Within, and that takes place with a lot of people playing their part. I always say as a mayor, you're kind of the coach of the floor, and you extract the talent of the people around you. Well, that goes from our residents, our business community, from our teachers, our schools, our visitors who visit us in our city, Crown Point. And that has really helped us become the focal point of growth for Northwest Indiana. We're happy to say that we've been voted the #1 place to live for the last 13 years in a row by the best of the region. We have the best town downtown during that same time frame. And we really think this is a great place to work, live, and play in our community. So when you start to look at the different aspects of how we get here, you'll see the city of Crown Point will continually reinvest in itself. We're proud of the fact that we have the lowest tax rate of any city in Northwest Indiana, and that's in Lake, Porter, and LaPorte County. And for the 4th year in a row, we've lowered our tax rate, raised our assessed valuation, and be able to give more back to our community. Just completed a $20 million water improvement project for the city of Crown Point that doubles our capacity to buy water as the #1 wholesaler for Indiana American Water, and to be able to buy that and store it now in non-peak times means we're buying our water cheaper, but still delivering the quality to our people that live here and work here as well. And so we're very excited for that project to be completed here. We're seeing growth happen. Some major announcements this past 2020 was Franciscan Health, announcement of a new medical center at 231 and I-65, $300 million investment. We think when it's all said and done on that campus that Franciscan Health is designing over there, there'll be close to $500 million on that property alone, just medical service to the city of Crown Point and the region itself. And when you start to look at Crown Point being a $1.9 billion community right now, adding another $3 to $5 million on top of that, 300 to 500 on top of that is, a quarter of our growth in that short period of time. So we're very poised to look at that as a growth to be able to provide services, keep reinvesting in ourselves, and just giving back into your investment. The best thing in the world is they always say that you're worth more tomorrow than you were today, and that's our scorecard. That's our report card for as elected officials here to make a very inviting opportunity here. So some other things that are taking place in Crown Point, besides Franciscan Health, St. Francis University is doing an expansion. It's a university that really specializes in the nursing fields and medical professions and ancillary products that really help with the medical field. You've seen the investment on 109th Avenue, and that's a public to private partnership, where we're fixing our infrastructure in that corridor to make it not only safer for our current book of business, but future growth, which we anticipate over another $100 million of commercial growth over the next 3 to 5 years in that corridor with the expansion of Delaware Parkway to 107, to 100 roundabouts that are going to take place going east at Mississippi and Iowa Street. And then you're going to see the state come in and look at 109th Avenue. And this summer, we'll be renovating that off-ramp, on-ramp to roundabouts as well. So we're kind of like the miniature of Carmel, but as far as road infrastructure, but it's work in progress, and that really poises us to be very, very well to have new development continue to come in with not having gridlock take place in our community. With the new census coming out, we anticipate Crown Point being a population of about 35,000 plus. And just remember back in 2000, we were around 17,000 residents total. So we've doubled in the last 20 years in just population of people wanting to be here in Crown Point. We have excellent schools. We have the lowest crime rates and been recognized for that for any city in Northwest Indiana. And with us investing with low tax rates, quality of homes, all these things add up again to being very attractable for you to look at Crown Point to do your book of business. So with that, I'm going to kind of like roll into here and have each one of our panelists kind of give a little bit of the lay of the land what they do. And I'll start with Greg Faulkowski, and we'll work our way to Anthony and Joe Cash. So Greg.
Thanks, Mayor. On a day-to-day basis, I work with all our department heads. We'll focus on the building construction aspect here, but we work especially this last year. We have a COVID task force that's made up of some of our department heads, our fire chief, our IT, who also does our community engagement, and our HR director. So on a daily basis, we're working with that to make sure that our workforce has all the tools needed to get through this times that we are. So we work with Great Lake Labs out of Valparaiso. Anytime any of our employees or their family members have signs or symptoms or possible exposures, we go through, we get everyone tested, we quarantine, we take care of all of our employees to make sure that they have the safest environment possible, both at work and at home, to get through these stages. Outside of that, with our building department and planning department, work on a daily basis with Joe Cash and Anthony, who are here regularly, all the developers, homeowners who are coming in, projects they may be working on. We always try to work with the homeowners, especially. Anytime a homeowner comes in and they're doing a project, especially to their home. Our homes are our largest investments we have, and we want to make sure that we're able to walk those homeowners through the process from assisting with local contractors, getting their permits, our inspectors going out, making sure that they're getting their full work that they're paying for, and it is to code and done correctly, and from beginning to end, to make sure that that job went seamlessly and went as well as possible, so that they can have that addition or remodel to their house or new home done as quickly as possible, as safely as possible, and done correctly. On the developer side, we work with Anthony a lot, coming in from basic remodels to, like the mayor said, $500 million projects that are happening at 231 and I-65 for Franciscan Health. So we're working with our local partners at NIPSCO and Rick Kalinsky on extending utilities and incentives through there. Our local building trades with Randy Palmatier, making sure that the people who live here are also working here, reinvesting in their community, and keeping the dollars that are being invested here back in the homes that are here. That is just a little blip of what we have going on a daily basis. And I guess I'll pass it to Anthony from here to give a little lay of the land of the planning department.
Sure. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, my name is Anthony Schleder. I have been with the city for 5 years. My job here is to assist new projects through the approval process that are looking to locate within the city. Probably the first thing I would do would be identify appropriate locations. Look at whether the business needs I-65 access, at 109th or 231, if it's a national chain or retail type of business, looking for Broadway or Main Street corridors. And if it's a restaurant or smaller office type retail, we'd be looking at, possibly the downtown square. I do then work with those businesses to try to put them in contact with the property owners in the area. And then basically, once they've found a site, we verify if the business use is permitted in the property zoning classification. If it is permitted, they can move forward with city site plan approval before the planning commission. But if not, the business is a special use in that zoning classification. We can go through the process for special use approval. Another option is a zone change. Once they have proper zoning or use approval, they can move forward with site plan approval. In either case, any approval would have to agree with the city's comprehensive plan and the findings of fact at the meeting. All would be discussed at the publicly advertised meeting, and ultimately, would be approved by the city council. The next step would be, site plan approval, and petitioners would be required to submit a detailed engineering drawing stamped by a licensed engineer. There'd be an internal review of the site plan by the planning, fire, utility, and public works and engineering departments. We would determine, if the site has proper setbacks, sidewalks, parking lot requirements, adequate turn radiuses for emergency vehicles. Also look at street access. Does it need decel or XL lanes, right turn only pork chop entrances, basically, we look at everything that, to be reviewed and verify that the site is compliant with all city code requirements. Also, the engineering plans would also get a review by the city engineering consultants for proper drainage and water retention, check the runoff calculations, and for the added amount of increased impervious surface, ensure the required rate of release is appropriate. We look at the stormwater pollution and prevention plans, ensure the site is compliant with all IDEM requirements, making sure that dirt and debris in the construction site would not spill out in our storm sewers or into neighboring properties. And I guess once that has been determined, the plans are code compliant, I would make a recommendation to the Planning Commission for approval at their public meeting. And if approved, then they can again submit for permitting. That is all I have.
Anthony, thank you for sharing that with the group. Appreciate that that breakdown. So Joe Cash.
Yes, Mayor. Thank you. My name is Joe Cash. I am the building administrator for the city of Crown Point, and work closely with the mayor and his administration, along with Anthony and the planning department. And basically, I am the guy that everyone comes to for their building permits, whether it be a commercial project or a residential project. Basically, in a nutshell, I help people with the application process, and all contractors that perform any type of work in the city must be licensed with the city. I help people obtain that, whether they have a county license and we work with the county and you get a license, or whether you just have a plumbing license and you want to be a plumber in Crown Point. Well, I'm really not going to get into all those details so much, but once I receive the applications, I do the plan review, assess the fees, and then we make sure that all the proper building inspections get put out. And like even Greg said earlier, our biggest challenge is working with the homeowners, because obviously they're not contractors. So we work closely with them and help them make sure that they get, dollar for dollar what they have invested in their projects, and just make sure everything's code compliant at the end of the day. And both of my building inspectors are ICC certified. We are an ICC certified building department. And outside of that, that's pretty much sums it up in a nutshell. Basically, if anyone ever has any questions, I'm always there and available to take your calls. And that's about all I got, Mayor.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. I know that we're really pushed for time here. We've gone into the first 18 minutes and we want to open up some questions. But just let you guys know, we're coming live from my office right here, and right over my left shoulder, as you can see, the hard hats that are behind me. And even one of those hard hats were signed by a specific organization from groundbreaking. So anytime we have a major groundbreaking in the city of Crown Point, we have that organization or that investor. We have everybody that played a part in it sign those helmets. I get them on top shelf and here on top of the mini fridge. Those are just major projects under my administration. So we proudly display those here in my office because we're very, very much about constructing and moving and building Crown Point for the future. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of lay of land from behind us here, where you're coming from and where we're broadcasting from. So this is our very first time that we've been on this side of it, so that we are, so if the webcam is jumping back and forth, that's a technical issue that we're going to have to work out, but we appreciate you guys coming into our basically our office here today and being part of what the city of Crown Point is offering. So Andre, I think this is the appropriate time, right, to look for maybe some questions or some comments from the people that are here.
There you go, and I'm unmuted. Well, thanks, Mayor. And I don't know if this is good or if it's scary, but my favorite thing is naked chicken wings too, with the Caribbean jerk sauce. So now everyone knows. So this was really great. If anyone has any questions, you can type it in the chat, but we already have a few. And the first one is there a bid list or an upcoming job list that people can look at about how they can see what jobs are coming up?
Yeah, we're going to launch that here for the very first time at Crown Point, where if you go to our website, and we're still doing that now, but you'll be able to see every project the city of Crown Point will have out there, whether it's a job, whether it's a proposal, or we're actually going to be requesting for bids. We've really looked at what COVID was about and made us more involved in the technology side. That's why we're here today on the Go Meeting sites, and we understand that application going forward and communicating through that aspect is vital. And I don't think that's going to change. I think we've now got that part of our new norm, and so we want to be able to extend the technology side and have anybody go to our website in the future and be able to list on there what the job is, and if it really is germane to them, or if they have that expertise in that field, and who to contact to be able to get more specifics in those jobs. So that's going to be coming out here in 2021. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. This one kind of goes right along with it. I think Joe was talking about it a little bit, but do you have to be pre-qualified to bid on projects for the city of Crown Point? Of course, I know you have to be licensed, but do you have any pre-qualification processes?
Sure. Yeah, the city of Crown Point has what we call the responsible bidding ordinance, which lays out all the requirements of what a contractor would need to be involved with or have completed to be able to be eligible to work on a project in Crown Point. And those are for the jobs that are bid, which meet the threshold of a dollar amount adopted by state statute. Any of the smaller projects that just go out for proposals, we try to make the responsible bidding ordinance requirements as well, but they don't have to go out for formal bid. But all contractors and subcontractors must be licensed in the city of Crown Point to work. And that's just verifying that, you know, everyone has the right bond, insurances in place, and you know, all those boxes are checked.
Great. Can anyone share with us what are the top 5 larger commercial projects that you see slated for 2021?
Anthony, you want to jump on that? I know that we've had a lot of things through the Planning Commission. We got a lot of ground that's broken on Broadway. And if you want to share some of those things that are out there that's going to be constructed or currently under construction now.
Sure, Mayor. So I would say the biggest things, obviously, you know, we have the under construction, we have the Hampton Inn Hotel going on off of 109th. We have we mentioned before the Lakeshore Bone and Joint is moving their headquarters over to 109th and directly next to the hotel there too. We have the Franciscan Hospital going off near the southeast corner of 231 and I-65, and obviously the University of St. Francis expansion there with their tech lab expansion. So we see a lot of potential growth in that area, specifically at 231 and I-65, with you know, sort of developing as a business park, and some kind of more high-end users looking to come in the future.
Well, Anthony, that's perfect. It leads right into the next question. So I guess I see a lot that's going on because my office is right here in Crown Point, so I'm always passing all this new development. So those are the projects that have broken ground, and I know that we're going to wait for Mayor State of City to hear what is coming up. But that I-65 corridor, that industrial park. Is the city of Crown Point looking at making that a light industrial park, or is that going to be a commercial shopping area for both 119th and 231?
Well, I would think for the southeast corner there at I-65 and 231, we have a new zoning classification known as business park. So that'll be it'll be kind of a mix between, it's going to be a kind of a step up from industrial, but not quite full retail, but retail to support that that park would be allowed, but it would be something where you know, if it was any kind of outdoor storage or anything like that that you would see in other industrial parks, would not be allowed there.
Okay. Is the southwest corner of 65 and 231 still scheduled for commercial?
I think on the corner, we're going to see some retail commercial components, and possibly, you know, farther to the south, we'll see some more residential development there.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm reading one more question here. Okay, so with what you have going, what you already have planned, and the secret stuff that you won't tell us quite yet, Mayor, do you have any like top 3 industries that you are going after that is important for Crown Point?
Yes.
Can you share with us?
No.
Oh, come on.
I told you this was the appetizer to the state of the city. So,
Well, I better be careful with that since I do your state of city.
absolutely. So look forward to March 11th for some major announcements that may be coming across. Again, we're working with our, some of these announcements might have happened sooner, but with COVID, lending institutions and stuff like that, things are really basically you have to go through the underwriting process even harder now. We've had some major restaurant opportunities that were going to come to Crown Point, and with the capacity being restricted through COVID, some of those are hurdles that may be prohibiting an earlier breaking ground than we anticipate. So with that being said, we want to be here to some of the confidentiality agreements that we have in place, and once those are released and we are able to announce those things, we definitely don't want to put the cart before the horse, but Crown Point is poised to be able to welcome and handle some of those major developments coming our way.
And I think as a general statement that we look at anchors as professional jobs. I mean, you see the Lakeshore Bone and Joint, you see Munster Community, you see Franciscan. Those are what Crown Point is driving for. Places where people can work, earn a high living, and live here as well. So those are the big anchors you're looking for.
Well, we appreciate that.
We can announce the fact that and it's gone through the workshop. We're trying to work with Sonics. We've been trying to get Sonics to come to Crown Point for a long time, but that's hopefully going to be coming here shortly here off of Broadway and Summit Street on the southwest corner there by Advance Auto. But there's some other things coming down the pipeline that I think are really going to be transforming Crown Point for not only today but for decades to come.
Great. And then one last question as we wrap that up. The COVID that we've all experienced last year, do you expect it to continue to delay or hamper development for 2021?
Based on what we saw the numbers in 20, which was the heart of COVID, we anticipate, we're at the tail end, and hopefully with all the vaccines coming out and the new information we have daily that changes, right, that 21 will be just as impressive, if not exceed the 2020 numbers based on what's in the pipeline now.
Well, with that, we're going to keep everyone on schedule. I'd like to thank Mayor and your entire team for putting this together. And behind the scenes, Diana Bossi, who is not on camera, she really is kind of the glue that kind of puts us all together. So thank you, Diana. With this, as Mayor said, March 11th is his state of city. And of course, that date is respectful to where we are with COVID. But we are planning on moving forward with that, and you will learn much more of his state of city. So with that, once again, follow NWIBRT on our Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. You can see this presentation on YouTube. You can register at NWIBRT.org if you'd like to join the organization. The next time we are on is January 20th at 11:30, and that is with Hassey Construction. And I do believe Hassey Construction, coincidentally, did Bulldog Park. So what a nice lead-in for that. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. If you have any other questions, I know the staff at the City of Crown Point is always open to answering questions and to meeting with people. And NWIBRT as well is here to help you with any questions. So with that, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.